present today. In your packet is the different standards that we'll be going through today. So let's make sure that I can do this. Just a quick review of what we do. Most of the all of the PSPs have stabilized, and so we're now establishing a review cycle where we will go through some PSPs quarterly, so that we don't inundate you with too much at one meeting to have to look through. We will put these out for public review and comment, and then in receiving those comments from the public, we'll present them in a draft form to you and go out to work groups and subject matter experts, and then return with suggestions to the committee for your vote. So if no revisions are needed, the last review date will be updated in the document posted to the website. If revisions are needed, appropriate drafts will be reviewed and presented for approval. So each document here has been reviewed for content updates and conformance with SCIP initiatives and other PSPs. We also want to keep in conformance with our national communications plan and guidance from the Office of Emergency Communications and the Department of Homeland Security. Technical corrections, broken links, format, etc. are also looked at. In July to September, we try to do our technical PSPs. That's what we have in front of us today. In just a moment, we'll go through those. The two errors that are right at the top are under the purview of the SIAC, and the two, actually 2B2, hopefully, three right here, there, Land Mobile Radio Equipment Standards and the Interoperable Channels and Priority Programming Guide under the purview of the PSCC. Our technical review cycle started August 7th with an email sent out to stakeholders requesting feedback. As of August 21st, no comments had been received, and so the internal review of the PSP started. No changes were identified for core content. However, all technical PSPs require some update in the format of the document so that we can get all the format standard. We are not looking for any changes to information inside of the documents. We are looking to make sure that the format is standardized. We did present and request feedback from the SIAC. We'll discuss what they had to say. You've already seen that in the previous presentation. Today we're here for your feedback. Early September drafts were sent out to interested parties on the email list and posted on the website. We're looking in early October for approval of draft and revisions to be released, and hopefully in October we can get the October 15th we'll get the SIAC presentation approval, and November 19th present anything to this group for its approval. So moving right along in your packet right there, working from the back forward, there is the statewide interoperability. About 8 pages in. We've printed this double-sided, and that makes it a little hard, but we wanted to make sure we were as light on our resources as we possibly could be. The Air State SOP is the second one in. Let me move on and just go to the improvement plan first, which is your first one in from the back. This was what we would like to do here is move the definitions from the appendix to the appropriate new template selection section, which is a definitions section in the book. The SIAC recommended the use of generic GPS contact information in an appendix instead of specific names, and that is all of the change that we, the only changes that we have for this document. And I'm going to just pause for a second and ask if there's any question from the commission on on this document if there's any other changes you've seen. I have to step back and put my glasses on or I can't see what I've got in front of me here.
So it's just up to you, notification contact us if we appendix.
That is correct. Those are the only two changes that we have for this document right now.
And this document was just approved a year ago. Actually, we're working with 3 agencies, or excuse me, different jurisdictions right now on the actual process for, requesting areas infrastructure changes, et cetera. So we really don't have much change in the procedure at that point. But we just want to bring it up to the latest and greatest template, with the primary goal of having all of our policies and procedures follow the exact same template, so no matter what document you had, you knew where to look to find you.
Okay, hearing nothing. P is the next largest document. It's from the back, 20 pages in, and look, it reads the Arizona Interagency Radio System Air State Plan. This one is missing a definition section that we'd like to add. The SIEC recommended that the NIFOG related content and tables included in the interoperable channels plan and the programming guide now be removed from the AIRS SOP. And so we would actually take the full priority programming guide and fold it into the Arizona Interoperable Channels Plan, and taking all of that information out and actually just referencing it so that we only have one document to update. No data, nothing's changing other than just finding it in a single point versus several locations where we would have to update that information. Those are the changes to this document. So in a moment we'll be speaking about the Arizona Interoperable Channels Plan, but in this document we're giving you the information here that we're taking all the NIFOG related content out of that and leaving in there. Okay, seeing we'll move on then, seeing no changes there. Land mobile radio minimum standards is the very first page of your document. It's about 3 pages long. Here we had missing definitions and references. Also, the SIEC recommended that we change the character display recommendation from 7, as seen here, to 8. All agreed that they had not seen a radio that didn't have at least 8 characters. That would be certainly an update if you were wanting that done. Yes.
I quote that. Now we're buying multi-band radios that are tri-band, dual band. So, like, say I buy a VHF, all 600 megahertz, each one 5 required, and just have cable.
Okay. Have we got that noted? Okay. Is there anything else before the commission? Okay. The next one is the minimum standards. Did we get to each one of them? The interoperable channels plan. That is the second one in there. The Interoperable Channels Plan is missing definitions and references. Yes, IEC recommended that the Priority Programming Guide as made an appendix to allow for a single document requiring only one vote. So in other words, we'd fold the Priority Programming Guide into this document as an appendix. Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, if there's any input, please let our office know. I realize this is a lot of material to go through and to see, but we are looking for any input that you might have, especially for these two documents. Oh, I apologize. The very last one of your set would be the template that we would like to go with. It looks much like the standard operating sustainability and improvement of the very last one in your packet.
So that's an update. All of them will use that template?
Will look very much like that, yes. It even needed a few updates, but it will look and feel like that.
Most of the changes are like the Interoperable Channels Plan, where when we originally did these, we didn't have a section for definitions. We didn't have a section for references. Sometimes we had references just incorporated footnotes, other times in parentheses and paragraphs. This is just to keep it all standard throughout all of that.
So one other question I have for you. These are all off of the PSCC website, wherever it's stored. So one thing we should probably talk about is where that website is hosted. Some of the things that I've learned from the commission we've had at first, state infrastructure is not always the best way to host something. So this is, if these are documents that you should reference, you want to have multiple program or have some type of failure.
Okay, Mr.
Storing your data center right now.
Yeah, exactly. Not necessarily good that I recommend. I have challenged in the data center.
Chairman, have we ever considered putting it on the information network?
You know, we haven't looked at it recently. Several years ago, when we first started our PSP development effort, we looked at the site at the time, the national information, interoperability sheet, something like that. And it was a challenge at that point for version control and other things. But as you know, the federal government has made huge advances in their information sharing, collaboration, and technology. We can certainly look at least having backups in business as well.
So yeah, can you take note of that and kind of let's talk about some of these businesses?
We'll do that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Commissioners.
Justin, you're up. Interoperable communication.